Worldwide Sales and Service, Jerome Guillen.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Can everybody hear me okay? Yes. Welcome. We're happy to host you and give you a little bit of an update about what's happening with Tesla and what's going to happen this year. So the first thing, starting with the big news, is I'm pleased to report our deliveries for the fourth quarter of last year, 6,900 deliveries, which is about 20% above the previous guidance we had given. So it's a pretty good results that we're happy with. I'd like to thank the production team and the delivery teams for bringing all these cars to the market. But overall, I want to thank our customers for showing such endorsement of the car. And we've been very pleased with all the reception and we've received with the cars. And I think there's a couple of maybe additional points that have convinced our customers that the Model S is a very good car. The first one is regarding safety. Now that we have a lot of cars on the road, people realize it is a very safe car. To date, there has been no serious injury in the Model S ever. There has been no casualty. Of course, as we put more and more cars on the road, this is unfortunately likely to change. But the fact is that for the time being, this is one of the safest, if not the safest car on the road. And we have the evidence to show it with 168 million miles on the road. And as I said, no serious injury and no casualty. In addition, besides that empirical data, the tests as supported by NHTSA and other organizations proved that the Model S has the highest ratings in terms of safety. And so putting the two together, the customer says, it is a safe car. If I want my family in a safe environment, this is a good car to have. So that's one reason that we think is helping the sales to be really above our expectations. The second one really is winter has come. And people can see how well the car is doing in cold weather. A lot of people appreciate the benefits of being able to charge the car, preheat the car remotely, and come to a car that is warm and ready to go fully charged. In addition, we got a lot of very good experience last week with all the cold weather and the snow in the Chicago areas and so on, where people have been delighted with their cars. And let's don't forget that our largest market outside of North America is Norway. And the Model S is the best-selling car in Norway. Not the best-selling electric car, the best-selling car, period. And these people know a couple of things about cold weather. I was there last week, and people just enjoy very much using their car. I was fortunate to go up a mountain with it, and it's exceptional performance in cold weather. So those two things together really have helped us and have helped our customers be even more confident that the Model S is a good choice, and have helped us achieve the figures I mentioned earlier. In addition, I'd like to say on safety that we don't stand still. Although the car we think is already extremely safe, I can tell you that my colleagues are continue to think about ways of making it even safer. And in particular, we don't shy from providing updates over the air and sending firmware which allows the car, under certain circumstances, to have a behavior that could be even safer. While NHTSA may call this sometimes a recall, we call this modern technology. The fact is there is no car that needs to leave the garage. We can remotely and very conveniently make the car even better, both on safety and any other features. This is an aspect that is very unique to Tesla, that we can make every car better over time without having to bring the car in a specific Tesla location. So all in all, we feel pretty good about this, and we look forward to 2014 with anticipation. So what's in for us in 2014? Well, growth and growth. So on the sales and service side, which I'm responsible, it's reckless growth. It's how fast can we grow? And by the way, I'd like to stress that our biggest challenge continues to be recruiting. We cannot find enough people fast enough to staff all our sales and service locations. So basically, in 2014, you should expect our sales and service presence to double. Double globally in North America, in Europe, and in Asia as well. So if you think about it, I think we should be ready to support our expansion in production and in sales by having basically double the footprint. Both in sales and in service. So this is coming along quite well, with the challenges though that I mentioned about recruiting, the ability for us to recruit as fast as possible. Good people. In Europe, we continue also our presence, and in Asia, China is a market that looks very interesting to us, where we think that the Model S could do very well. We already have opened a store in Beijing. We opened a service center in Beijing as well, and we'll have many, many more in 2014, and with the first deliveries in just a few weeks. We're building the cars already for that. Yeah? And finally, to help, back to the first sort of concern that there was about electric car, which was range. Despite the car having 300 miles or 500 kilometer range, we continue to expand aggressively our supercharger network to allow fast and free long-distance driving throughout the world. So we have now about 80 superchargers. Keep in mind that each supercharger is allowed to cover a lot of area, and also the pace of opening is quickening. So last week, I believe we opened 7 sites, and we're opening 2 today, if I remember correctly, actually in Ohio, so not far from here. And 7 million miles of charge have been provided out of, as I mentioned, 168 million miles that the customers have driven. So I can show you some maps of the supercharger routes in North America. You can see the cross-country road is almost finished, right? So stay tuned, it's just a few more days until we'll have people driving across for free North America with the Model S. And in Europe, it's coming along as well. So as you all know, Norway is already covered. It's a good thing you don't need many stations in Norway to cover most of the country. You can go to the Arctic Circle, where we have our, I would say, most dedicated customer. And also we have the road between Amsterdam and the Alps and skiing that is now open. And as you can see on the pictures, our Dutch customers are taking great advantage of it. I think we've never seen such a high utilization from superchargers than the one that we have open in the Netherlands already. So all in all, it's doing quite well. And wanted to summarize a little bit what happened in 2013, looking forward in 2014, and give a chance. I think we have a couple of microphones on either side for some of you, probably not all of you, unfortunately, to ask some questions either to me or to my colleague Darmit. Yeah? Go ahead.
Do you want to select?
Go ahead.
Jim Motivale from the New York Times. You didn't mention the Model X, and some people thought you were going to show it here. Can you talk about where you're at with the Model X introduction?
Yes. So Model X is being worked on feverishly. So a lot of the people you don't see here today are working on Model X. I wanted them to be here, but they're working on it. The launch, the official launch, for the Model X, typically we have our sort of Tesla events either at the factory or the design studio. So that should be happening in the future. But I'm sorry, but it'll be here at some point. But we'll have an event before that in the West Coast. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Bruce Kennedy with Benzinga.com. If you look around the floor here, you're seeing a lot of other electronic vehicles being introduced or prototyped. Are you worried about market share in the upcoming 5 to 10 years?
So repeating the question, it was hard to hear. So are we worried about other electric vehicles? Absolutely not. We welcome them. The mission of Tesla is to accelerate the transition to sustainable transportation. So the more electric vehicles there are on the street, I think the better off we are, all of us. I'm delighted to see the electric smart from my former colleagues across the street, across the aisle, I should say. I'm delighted to see all the other electric cars, the B-Class over there that we're involved with. We welcome all the electric cars. I think all electric cars are good and are contributing to that overall mission that we're trying to achieve. Yeah. Esben, over there.
Hi, Chris Tomorrow with gas2.org. What's up with the battery swapping stations? I thought we were supposed to have those by the end of the year, and what's the progress on that?
Yeah.
Sure. We are still on track to